Hi guys, welcome to the Unit 4 Synthesis Essay Peer Review. This week you'll be working on writing your synthesis essay, putting it on the discussion board, and then you'll be going and giving at least two of your classmates some good substantial feedback on their essays. Let's take a look at this assignment. The first thing I want to say about the assignment is your major goal here is going to be to go through and build a picture of the different perspectives like you did in discussion 1. And then you're going to work on using your common ground to come back and propose a new way of looking at the issue. Your voice should be very objective in this piece. I very strongly recommend omitting the first person completely. When you use the first person in an essay, it's much easier to fall into talking about your own perspectives, your own ideas, and your own kind of take on the issue. This should really be a fairly impartial presentation on your part. These are the two ideas, here's a third idea, this is why this is a good compromise, right? You should demonstrate your ability to integrate sources smoothly in your writing for this essay using signal phrases, summary, and paraphrase. You guys practiced that in discussion 2. I think overall what I saw in discussion 2, you guys are doing pretty well with that. So take that and really use it thoroughly in this essay. Be sure to use your MLA in-text citations. Your in-text citation will be the author's last name. If you have a print source or a source that has page numbers, use those page numbers. Most of your sources will not have that, so just use the author's last name. If you don't have an author, go to the short title of the work. Your full citation then will appear once. It'll be at the end of your paper in the works cited section. So the in-text citation is pointing us to the first word or words that appear in your full citation. Your full citation at the end is going to be the complete guide for finding your source. The essay that you're going to write, like I said, is going to be exploring different perspectives and finding a third perspective. The assignment gives you a pretty good structure for how to build that essay and how to go through. So the introduction is going to describe the issue. Why is this a significant issue or topic? Why does it need a solution? Your thesis then will clearly show the solution that you're going to present. That solution will be your third perspective that uses the common ground for both of the other perspectives you've looked at. Your body section, your essay will have 4 body sections. The first body section will explain one of the sides of the issue. It needs to fairly represent those arguments, concerns, and desired outcomes. So you should really think about stepping into the shoes of people who believe one side of the argument. What do they think? How would they express themselves? In section 2, you'll do the same thing for the opposing side. So you need to fairly represent their arguments. You need to speak in the voice of somebody who believes that perspective. The third section then will bring the shared beliefs and goals of the two perspectives out. What do they have in common? So is it generally a concern for law and order? Is it a concern for equity or justice? Is the concern a constitutional one? What's fair and intended under the U.S. Constitution and different perspectives on that? Whatever it is, different perspectives that were assigned, the different perspectives that were assigned for this unit will have a common ground where people are both striving for the same thing, but they're doing it in a different way. So your task is to figure out what that thing is that everybody is looking for, even if they have different ways of coming at it. That'll be your third section. Your fourth section then is going to be your proposed solution or alternate position. Most commonly, this is probably going to be an alternate position, but there are definitely some solutions for some of these. And what you're really looking to do is solve the problem or create a new way of thinking about this that benefits and respects both parties. So you're going to think about the common ground. You're going to think about the different ways that people might come at this. And you're going to figure out kind of what everybody might be able to get behind, whichever side of the question they're on. Your conclusion then is going to restate the significance of the issue and synthesize the benefits of your proposed solution or third perspective. Your sections, you'll see in the description of the paper, your sections can be more than one paragraph. Use as much or as little as you need to get each of these points clearly and thoroughly addressed. Alright, once you've written that paper, we're then going to move on to the peer review. Remember, your paper needs to be posted by Wednesday at midnight. The peer review will then run until Saturday at midnight. The essay will be due on Sunday. So that'll give you one day to take all of your peer feedback, rework your essay, and get it turned in. So for peer review, I've been noticing a lot in peer reviews that people are saying things like, oh yeah, this is a great paper, I don't see anything wrong with it. Which is fine. I mean, you may go through somebody's paper and feel like they've written a perfect paper. What I'd really like you to do as you do your peer review, though, is dig into what your classmates have done using the questions that have been provided by the peer review discussion board, and really address these questions. Does the introduction explain the significance of the topic? If it does, you can say, yes, it does explain the significance of the topic, and this is what it says the significance is. By mirroring back to your classmate what you're understanding from their essay, you're also giving them a check to make sure that what they think they've said is really what they've said. So look at that. Does the essay include a clear and specific thesis statement? Find that thesis. Tell them what it is. Does it show the writer's solution or third perspective? So has it found the common ground? Does the essay include topic sentences and transitions to organized body paragraphs? Remember that the topic sentence is going to be the mini thesis statement for each paragraph, and it's going to be the thing that moves the argument forward and relates that paragraph's content back to the general idea, the general thesis. Does the essay clearly identify the positions of two opposing sides of the debate? Part of what I'd like you guys to think about as you look at that question is this an objective presentation of both sides? Or are you seeing somebody very clearly leaning to one side or the other? If the emphasis or the leaning is very clearly to one perspective, try to push your classmate to come up with a stronger representation of the side that they're not representing well. So that can probably be one of the most productive things you can do to help your classmate, and it's also, for yourself as a writer, a really good exercise to just make sure that you understand what it looks like to present two different voices objectively, and to think about how you might change something to be more objective. So that can be a really great writer's exercise to do as well. The next question, does the essay synthesize the two positions to show their common ground? So you really want to make sure that your author has shown a clear understanding of what the two perspectives have in common. What are they trying to achieve that intersects? So does the essay then draw on that common ground to create a solution that benefits both sides, or create a third perspective that offers compromise for both positions? So again, this is just making sure that they've really taken that knowledge and used it well. Does the essay develop specific evidence for the ideas? So here's the big place where you're going to look at how your classmate has used their sources. Have they quoted specific points? Have they created solid paraphrases or summaries and cited those? Do you know what the major ideas are and where they came from? All right. Connected to that, you're going to make sure that the essay has